What's going on, you guys? It is your boy, the American F1 fan, Eric Ringo here, and we're back for more Drive to Survive Season 5. We're on episodes 3 and 4. We got Matter of Principle and Like Father, Like Son. These were amazing episodes, and I've got to say, Drive to Survive is starting to look like they have redeemed themselves. But let's get on into the reaction and my thoughts about episodes 3 and 4 of Season 5 of Drive to Survive. So on to episode 3, Matter of Principle, and this is probably my proudest moment. As in a prior video when I talked about Drive to Survive and episodes that could potentially be coming out, this is pretty much one of the episodes I called, which was talking about Mattia Binotto and the decisions that he was making as basically the chief strategist at Ferrari. And this episode was basically just the magnification of all the errors that literally Mattia made, in strategy calls all throughout the season. I mean, the biggest one, and, not really thinking about it at the time, but, with Charles being in a championship hunt like he was, going into Silverstone, and they decided not to pit Charles Leclerc, and they pitted Carlos Sainz, and every team in the paddock was like, wait, why would you not have pitted Charles? If anything, yes, he would have fallen behind Carlos, but you would have been able to get him back ahead of Carlos after that safety car. And I think that just goes to show how just utterly painful and disappointing the strategy was at Ferrari in a lot of occasions. Like in Miami, when, they didn't pit either driver under a safety car, and everybody else literally pits behind him, and Max is able to, basically stay ahead. And it was heart-wrenching, but like in the grand scheme of things as well, like it amplifies, why, going into this season, Ferrari, we say Mattia Binotto retired this, or, basically resigned from Ferrari, but I have to feel like Ferrari put some pressure on Mattia to really think about whether or not he needed to still be there, because just the amount of mistakes that kept building up and building up and building up in their strategies, it was time for him to go. It was time for the team to move on. And, they have obviously now with Fred Vasseur moving over from Alfa Romeo, but, it shows how much Ferrari really, shot themselves in the foot, especially early on in the season. It's not just the strategy calls, but it's the retirements from Charles Leclerc in Baku. It's, pitting, Carlos Sainz instead of Charles Leclerc in Silverstone. In Miami, it's not pitting the both of them, or, trying to cover off Sergio Perez. It really just goes to show that they needed a change at the top. And, it remains to be seen going into the 2023 season whether Fred Vasseur is going to be that man that is going to be able to change the fortunes of Ferrari. But like I said, this was a really great episode. I said in my last video, I think my biggest complaint is that we, skip races in each episode. We, go 4 or 5 races in to the season, and it kind of throws off the story at times. I didn't necessarily mind it here because you're trying to tell the story of Mattia. It's one of those that I don't mind it. I really wish they would have rather stuck with the chronological order of races. So now moving on to episode 4, Like Father, Like Son. This episode is strictly about Haas and strictly about Mick Schumacher and the pressure he was under, to really perform. And And I say pressure. I don't think it was pressure so much from Haas as much as it was. I think, especially in the early going, I don't think the pressure was on him from Haas as much as it was on himself. Schumacher is the name is a curse and a blessing. Like I believe it was Christian Horner, or it was one of the team principals that said it. That Schumacher name is a curse, but it's also a blessing. It's one of those that, you're the son of Michael Schumacher, the 7-time, drivers champion, or a multi-time champion, and you're basically, being looked at under a microscope to be exactly like your father, if not better. And you could tell, especially going into season 2, with the fact that, Kevin scores points in the first race of the season in Bahrain, you start to feel that pressure a little bit because, yes, Kevin's back with the Haas Formula One team, but it's one of those that he was away from the sport for a while. Kevin's been with the team now. This is going on his second season. He's going to have a better, grip on what the car can and can't do. And to see Kevin score points, going to Saudi Arabia, you're trying so hard. And I got to say, watching that wreck in Saudi Arabia again was just, it makes you so nauseous to watch. It's such a hard wreck, but it was nice to see that, Kevin was really responsive after the wreck, and you could kind of tell, I think he did end up getting a concussion off of this because he did not know what happened leading into that crash. And it's just so hard to watch, but, he did it there. He does it in Monaco, and, just the coverage of it, of Gunther having to call Gene, after Saudi Arabia and the crash, and, Gene saw the damage that was done to the car, and then he does it again in Monaco, and there's more damage brought to the car. Gene was tired of it. Like, you can literally just hear it in his voice when him and Gunther was talking on the phone. And even Gunther, I think done with it. It's one of those that, like, they were so tired of the constant, we can't, like, he's costing us millions of dollars in 2 really heavy crashes in Monaco and Saudi Arabia. You could tell the team was, like, literally Gunther was on his last legs with it. Gene, I think, was already done. After that crash in Monaco, I think he was already done. Then you had the result in Baku where he literally gets lapped by Max. Gunther is, like, he's slow as F. Like, he literally, listening to him on the pit wall, it reminded me of how Gunther was with Nikita the season prior, and just all the things he would say, just all the things under his breath. It was just like he was tired of just the non-performance when you've got a guy like Kevin Magnussen who was putting up performances, when the car would allow it. And it was so hard to watch. And then it was kind of a nice, like, arc to the story, with Mick being able to get that 7th place in Silverstone, and, just listening to the radio, and, like, Mick didn't lose any kind of, like, confidence in his driving ability. He finally was able to put it all together in Silverstone and secure that 8th place finish. But, at the end of the episode, when they asked Gunther, has he secured his seat? And Gunther straight out said, no, he hasn't. We're looking at all possibilities going into 2023. And that's, it's sad, but it's reality in Formula One. It's not what have you done, it's what have you done for me lately. And literally, Kevin hadn't scored any points up until Silverstone, and and he finally puts up points, but I still feel like he's fallen way behind, especially with Kevin coming back into the team and being able to put up the points he did, in just a little amount of time he was there, and not having the, fitness level that you would expect a Formula One driver to have. Now, I will say, when I was watching the Silverstone race and I was watching how his mother reacted and his family, his mother, his sister, and all them reacted, I could not help but think what it would have been like to have Michael there, have him scoring his first Formula One points, and to have Michael there and having him, be able to be on the radio like his mother was, and, just really congratulating him for the hard work that he put in that, basically scored him the points that he needed to, basically have, to help out the Haas team in any way he could. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below of season 5, episodes 3 and 4. I think so far so good. Netflix has done a really good job with this Drive to Survive. The producers, I am much more excited about the last 6 episodes to watch, and the fact that they haven't manufactured things like they have in seasons past. So I'm really excited. They've seemed so far through 4 episodes to have made a comeback. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think so far of season 5 of Drive to Survive. Guys, as always, slap a like on these videos for more daily and weekly Formula One content. The Formula One season is literally a week away. We start next Sunday in Bahrain. I'm literally debating as we speak on whether or not we're going to do a live watch along where you guys can join me. I'm going to be doing commentary of the race, giving you kind of my thoughts, and everything. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want me to do that as well. But also slap a like on this video. And guys, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe if you guys are new for more daily and weekly Formula One content. I'm pumping it out as much and as fast as I possibly can. We've got so much more to come this season. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And guys, for the American F1 fan, I'm Eric Ringel, signing off.